Hello again. My next poem is entitled Kiss of Life. It's about a fateful event, tiny in the great scheme of things, unremarkable even. But one small action on this day was to, within a week, change the course of my life. I was at my lowest ebb. 3 years working day and night, 7 days a week to meet the bills, to keep the strain off my estranged wife and support my children in a bid for a new life in Australia. Prices had all risen, wages stalled. I had constant payment demands and there was no movement in the housing market. It was just a matter of time. Another couple of months and I'd be gone, finished, destroyed. All I'd ever worked for, strived for, cared for, just so much chaff blown away in the winds of financial ruin sweeping the world. A total failure. My estranged wife would then be made responsible for all our debts, and all I had strove for would have been in vain. I was fettered by immense emotional and financial chains, nobody to turn to, and sapped of the will to go on. I travelled to Newcastle, my parents' house, for 4 days, away to consider my problems in the relative peace and solitude of the northeast. I was drained. I could no longer shoulder the burden alone. What I needed, though I wasn't aware of it at the time, was a soulmate, somewhere to bury my head, a hand to hold, the companionship and strength that only a partner can supply. Chatting could no longer meet my needs. I needed to let someone in. My dating site didn't provide it. I hadn't wanted it for that. I'd specified no requirements, no photo, no blog, just the minimum: age, name, profession, and they were generally fictitious. I had a few people I messaged occasionally, but it was a waste of time. I was ready to close it down. I no longer felt the urge to converse. I'd lost all hope. I was in the depth of a depression that had been stealing up on me these past 3 years. Bundled up against the cold, I stood at the bus queue, waiting for the bus which would take me to Newcastle. As I stepped aboard and sat down, I made a final decision. One last shot, then next week I'd let it all lapse. I took my phone and snapped a selfie as I stared glumly out of the window. On the bus, I tapped, then posted it. Dropped the phone back into my pocket, forgotten, and morosely considered what had become of my life, and wondered what the point of it all was. This poem is a recollection of that time 2 years earlier, on the bus, and the repercussions of that single action. It is fitting because my life changed direction due to that one action, that the journey becomes a metaphor for the direction my life takes after, and all because of that single action.